Assalamualaikum guys. Our today's topic is eigenvalues and eigenvectors. This stuff is given in chapter 5 of the book. I'm not going through all the chapter, just the important things. So only these notes will suffice this topic. Um, so what we mean by eigenvalues and eigenvectors? Eigenvector is a vector, of course, of a matrix. And see, this is a square matrix. It means we can only talk about eigenvectors of a square matrix. Okay, so eigenvector of a square matrix is a non-zero vector. So this is very important. A non-zero vector x such that ax is equal to lambda x. You see, it's a very strange property that you are multiplying a matrix with a vector and it comes out to be a constant into a vector. Lambda is a constant, okay, for some scalar lambda. You see, scalar is a constant quantity, right? It's a number. So if you multiply a matrix on the left, it becomes a number on the right. So such kind of vector x is called eigenvectors, and this special number lambda is called eigenvalue of the matrix. Okay, so this a scalar lambda is called an eigenvalue of the matrix A. So it means any square matrix, n by n square matrix, can have eigenvalues and eigenvectors. Okay, for example, if we look at this matrix A 1 6 5 2 and two vectors are given, we don't know how these vectors or where these vectors come from, but let's say these vectors are given to me. We can check whether these are eigenvectors or not. So for eigenvectors, what do I need? I need to calculate the left hand side, ax. So what I will do, I will multiply a with u and a with v, and I will see whether it is equal to some number time x or not. Okay, so if I multiply a with u, of course turn by turn, first I will consider u and then I will consider v, right? So if I consider u, then a of u is 1652 a, u is 6 minus 5. Okay, so now 1 times 6 and 6 times 5 is 20. I think it's plus 5, not minus. It's plus 5. So if you calculate this, 6 it is minus, not plus. It is minus. Okay, so 1 into 6 and 6 into minus 5 is 30. So 6 minus 30 is minus 24. Similarly, 5 into 6 is 30, minus 10 is 20. So if you multiply, you know how to multiply matrix with a vector. First row, first column, right? Then second row, first column. So I got minus 24 and 20. So now I will see whether can I take something outside so that I get 6 and minus 5 back. Okay, so you know that 4 times 6 is 24 and 4 times 5 is 20. So if I bring minus 4 outside, I can write it as minus 4 times 6 into 5, right? See, minus 4 into 6 is 24 and minus 4 into 5 is 20. So see, I got this vector back. This vector is u. See, this is vector u. So it means I started from a u and I got minus 4u. This was the definition, right? A times a vector times is equal to constant times a vector. So that's what I got. Matrix times a vector equal to constant times a vector. So it means u is an eigenvector. So what does this mean? This means that the u is the eigenvector. So I wrote E vector in short. This is not this is eigenvector. Okay, and I can tell you what is the corresponding eigenvalue because I got this minus 4 here. So this is my lambda. Right, this is my lambda, so this is my eigenvalue. So whenever you get an eigenvector, you can also tell what is the eigenvalue. So the corresponding eigenvector is minus 4. So let's do the same thing with v. V is 3 minus 2. V is 3 minus 2. So if I multiply a with v, then a with v gives me minus 9 and 11, and minus 9 and 11 cannot be written as 3 minus 2. You see, I cannot bring my 3 minus 2 back. So you cannot multiply a constant because to make it minus 9 I need minus 3. But when I multiply minus 3 with something minus 2, it does not give me 11. Minus 3 and minus 2 gives you 6, not 11. So it means I cannot write AV as lambda V. So from here, V is not an eigenvector of A. Got the idea of eigenvectors and eigenvalues? Another example is given. Show that 7 is an eigenvector. Okay. So now 7 is an eigenvalue. Now eigenvector is not given. I have the same matrix, A is the same, but eigenvector value is 7. Now x is not given to me, lambda is given. So it means Ax should be equal to 7x, right? Now we have to show whether Ax is 7x or not. Now you can see from here, I can, because x is the same, so I can bring it to the left and take x common. And why I wrote 7I? Because if I just take 7 common, A minus 7x, if I write this is a wrong thing. Why wrong? Because I cannot subtract a constant from a matrix, right? I cannot subtract a constant from a matrix. This is a wrong thing. I can subtract a matrix from a matrix, not a number from a matrix. Okay, so what we do, we write this 7x as 7x can be written as ix. You remember when we multiply an identity matrix with anything, it does not change, right? So x can be written as ix because ix is the same as x. Now if you take x as common, it becomes 7I. So 7I is a matrix. 7I is a matrix that can be subtracted from A. Okay. So Ax is equal to 7x means A minus 7ix equal to 0. Now this is a system of equations which we studied before in matrices. System of linear equations, right hand side is 0. So how to solve a system of linear equations? We can take its coefficient matrix. The coefficient matrix is this whole thing, A minus 7I. So I wrote A minus 7I. This is my A minus 7. This is my I, 1001. If you subtract, it means you are subtracting 7 from the diagonal only. In short, what you are doing, you are subtracting 7 from the diagonal. Off diagonal elements remain the same. Okay, so off diagonal are 6 and 5, they are not changing. I subtracted 7 from 1 and 2, so I got minus 6 and minus 5. This is A minus 7I. Now I have to solve this system. It means I need the echelon form of this matrix, or reduced echelon form. So I have to make 1 here, bring 1 here. How can I bring 1? I can divide by 6. So if I divide R1 by 6, if you divide R1 by 6, right, you got this 1 minus 1, 5 minus 1, R1 by minus 6. So basically you divided R1 by minus 6, you got this. Now use this one to make this 0. So 5 minus 5, it means I did R2 minus 5R1, R2 minus 5R1. So 5 minus 5 is 0, and this minus 5 plus 5 again becomes 0. So with this operation, both of these things will become 0. You see, this is a homogeneous system. On the right hand side you have 0. 0 is always a solution of a homogeneous system. You see, if you have a matrix B and you multiply by x equal to 0, then x is equal to 0 will always satisfy this. You see, if you replace x is equal to 0, b times 0 is always 0. So x is equal to 0 is always a solution. But we said that an eigenvector is a non-zero. You see here, we said an eigenvector is a non-zero vector x. So I am not interested in this solution. I am not interested in zero solution. I am interested in non-zero solutions. So non-solutions you will only get if one of the row becomes 0, if one of the variable is free. Okay, now if you write the system here, x1 minus x2 equal to 0, x1 minus x2 equal to 0, and this is 0 equal to 0. So my solution is x1 is equal to x2. So this is my solution, x1 equal to x2 and x2 is free. So you see, I got infinite many solutions. So there are non-trivial, non-trivial means non-zero solutions. Okay, non-trivial solution to this system, it means lambda is equal to 7 is an eigenvector of A. If you only get 0 solution, if at this stage you only get x is equal to 0 solution, it means x is equal to 0 is not acceptable. Okay, x equal to 0 not acceptable. So I will go back and say that no, lambda is equal to 7 is not an eigenvalue. I will, my answer will be yes, that lambda is equal to 7 is an eigenvalue if I get non-trivial solutions. Okay, if I get non-zero solutions. So lambda is an eigenvalue of a if and only if a minus lambda x is equal to 0 for some non-zero x. Okay, for some non-zero x. This is the main thing basically. Okay, you remember, if a minus lambda I has inverse, let's say if a minus lambda I inverse exists, okay, if a minus lambda I, this whole thing, let's call it b, if a minus lambda I inverse exists, right, then your x is equal to a minus lambda I inverse into 0, right? This is what we do. If the inverse of this thing exists, I can multiply the right hand side by its inverse. That's what I did. And this will be equal to 0, because if you have any matrix, if you multiply this by 0, your answer will be 0, right? It means x is equal to 0 is the solution, which is not acceptable. Why? Because I am looking for non-zero solutions. I don't want x equal to 0. I want non-zero solutions of x. So it means for non-zero solutions, my inverse should not exist. Okay. So for x not equal to 0, for non-zero solutions, right, we need a minus lambda I to be non-invertible. What does it mean? That the determinant of this should be equal to 0. You know that when a is not invertible, its determinant is equal to 0. Singular. This determinant matrix should be singular. So a minus lambda I should be equal to 0. Okay. So this is called the characteristic equation. We wrote this. This is called the characteristic equation of the system. Okay. What is the characteristic equation? A minus lambda I equal to 0. Okay. So if I solve this to find the eigenvalues, we find lambda such that this system is 0, has non-zero solutions, and this is only possible if a minus lambda I is invertible. This is what I said here, because if inverse exists, then 0 is the only solution. So to get non-zero solution, this should not exist. A inverse should not exist. For that, my lambda, my determinant should be equal to 0. So then x is equal to, if yes. So if a is invertible, then x is equal to 0 is the only solution. I showed you above, right? So to get non-trivial solution, we need the determinant of a minus lambda I equal to 0, because this will make sure that the inverse does not exist. And inverse, if inverse does not exist, we may have solutions, but that will not be 0 solution. So if I write a minus lambda I is simply, remember, you subtract lambda from the diagonal element. That's it. You subtract lambda from the diagonal. So I will subtract lambda from the diagonal elements only. 3 and 3 will remain same. Now what is the determinant? You multiply diagonal minus half diagonal, right? So I multiply diagonal minus half diagonal equal to 0. So you see this becomes a second order linear equation, second degree quadratic equations. Make factors. 7 3s are 21 and 7 minus 3 is 4. The product of 7 and minus 3 is minus 21, and the sum is 4. So if that's why these are the factors. So what values I got? I got lambda 3 and lambda minus 7. So these are called the eigenvalues. So if any matrix is given, you don't have to write this. I am just explaining these things. Whenever a matrix is given, write the characteristic equation, this one directly. Write this equation directly. Put it equal to 0. So left hand side becomes this. Determinant is equal to 0. Find the determinant. Put it equal to 0. This is a second order equation. Solve it to find the values of lambda. These are the eigenvalues. So that is the criteria of finding the eigenvalues. So finding eigenvalue is very easy. Now if you put this eigenvalue back here, you can find x as well. Let's say you can put lambda is equal to 3 here. If you put lambda equal to 3 here and solve this equation for x, you can find the eigenvector as well, as we did here. You see, lambda 7 was given to me, right? I put 7 here, a minus lambda I x equal to 0, and we find the value of x from here. We got the value of x. X is 1 1. You see, if you want to write x from here, what you will get? X1 is x2, x1 is x2, and x2 is free, so it means x2 is x2, right? Now you can bring x2 outside. If I bring x2 outside, what you get? You got 1 and 1 inside. So you don't need x2. This 1 1 is your eigenvector. This is your eigenvector 1 1. Similarly, in 3 variables, right, you can find the eigenvalues for 3 by 3 matrices as well, and you can use the echelon form for determinants as well. But anyway, if you want to find the, let's say, eigenvector of this matrix, let me do it here. In this previous example, what I need to do, I need to do a minus 3i, because lambda is 3. So a minus 3i into x equal to 0. Now I am looking for eigenvector. Okay, how to find the eigenvector? Equal to 0, right? So what do I need? I only need a minus 3i. I don't, right, to solve this, because the right hand side is 0, I don't need to write augmented matrix. So what I will do, I will just write a minus 3i, the coefficient matrix. No need to write 0 0 at the end. So 3 what was the matrix? Matrix was 2 3 3 minus 6. So 2 minus 3, 2 minus 3, off diagonal do not change, 3 3, and minus 6 minus 3 is minus 9, right? Minus 6 minus 3 is minus 9. So you got minus 1 3 and 3 minus 9. Now to get the echelon form, I need to make this 0. To get the echelon form, I need to make this 3 0. So I can use this 3 to make this 3 0. So what is the operation? What operation should I use? My operation should be R2 plus 3R1. R2 plus 3R1. Because if I multiply first one by 3, right, and add it here, I will get minus 1 3. So see, 3 into 1 is minus 3, plus 3 is 0, and 3 into 3 is 9, minus 9 is 0. So again you see, one row becomes 0. You have to get the second row 0. Otherwise, if you get 1 3 0 1 here, your only solution is 0, and 0 is not acceptable. So definitely one of them will give you 0. Now I got minus x1 plus 3x2 is equal to 0. Right? I got only this one, because the second is 0 equal to 0. The second does not give me anything. So from here your x1 is equal to minus 3x2. So I did not get any value of x2, so it means x2 is free, right? So therefore, now what I will write my vector x. My vector x becomes x1. X1 is minus 3x2, and x2 is x2, because x2 is free, so I will write x2 as x2. Now x2 is common, so I can write minus 3 and 1, the coefficients with x2, right? So we ignore this, because x2 is free, it can take any value. So we can take the value of x2 as 1, okay, because x2 is free, right? So you can take x2 equal to 1, okay? So our vector x becomes 1 1, minus 3 1. So this is the eigenvector corresponding to 3. So for eigenvalue lambda equal to 3, for lambda equal to 3, my eigenvector is minus 3 1. Similarly, you can pick the second eigenvector minus 7. Okay, put minus 7 here, put minus 7, so it will become a plus 7i. So you will get a plus 7i. So you can treat a plus 7i, write a plus 7i, right? Write the matrix a plus 7i. A plus 7 means 2 plus 7 9, 3 remains 3, 3 remains 3, and minus 6 plus 7 becomes 1. Okay, so you can write from here as well. If you use, you can get 9 3 and 0 again 0. If you, what operation I used here, I used r2 minus 1 by 3 r1. I multiplied r1 by 1 by 3 and subtracted. So 1 by 3 becomes 3, 3 minus 3 is 0. 1 by 3 becomes 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. So what you got? 9x1 plus 3x2 equal to 0. So from here, 9x1 minus 3 plus 3x2 equal to 0. So from here you can get x2 equal to you can get x2. Now instead of writing x1, I am writing x2. Why I am writing x2? Because x2 equal to minus 3x1, because I can bring minus 9 over there and divide. So now x1 is free, so you can take any value for x1. X1 is free, so you can take x1 equal to 1 and x2 becomes minus 3. So if you take x1 equal to 1, it's your choice. You can take x1 equal to 1, then x2 will become minus 3. So your vector becomes 1 and minus 3, right? So the second vector, your second eigenvector corresponding to minus 7 becomes 1 minus 3. So these are two eigenvectors. So for every eigenvalue you have an eigenvector. So for eigenvalue minus 7, you got the eigenvector 1 minus 3. So these are two eigenvectors for you. Okay, that's how you can find eigenvalues and eigenvectors. Sometimes your eigenvectors come out to be complex, but no problem. If they come out to be complex, it's not an issue, right? But for complex eigenvectors, we need the theory of complex numbers. Okay, so before going through this section 5.5, I will give you some theory of complex numbers, and then you can read this section on your own. Okay, it's the same thing. You have to solve the same equation, a minus lambda I equal to 0, but this becomes a complex number. Why? Because let's say for this matrix 0 minus 1 1 0, you subtract 0 lambda from the diagonal, so 0 minus lambda minus 1 1 and 1 minus 0 minus lambda. So you got this. Find the determinant. You got lambda square plus 1 equal to 0. So there is no real eigenvalue from here. You see, lambda square equal to minus 1. From here you get lambda square equal to minus 1. So you cannot take the square root of minus 1. If you take the square root here, you get lambda is equal to square root of minus 1. You remember, square root of minus 1 does not exist, but we call it iota. In complex number, we call square root of minus 1 equal to iota. This is the imaginary number with plus minus sign. So you got lambda is equal to plus minus iota. That is your complex eigenvalues now. Okay. So if we permit A to act on complex numbers, right, then it's not a problem. You can multiply A with your complex vectors and you get iota as your complex eigenvalue. Okay. So these are the complex eigenvalues and eigenvectors of matrix. So your eigenvalues and eigenvectors can be complex. There is not a problem at all. Okay, but for this one you need a theory of complex numbers. You should know what are complex number, how to play with them. All right. So that is it for eigenvalues and eigenvectors. I will give you one more lecture on complex numbers. Then this will be easily understood for you guys. So until then, bye from me. Go through this video and I will come back with the complex numbers.